I've got to think of something different to start these videos than always doing a cold start. What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. I'm pretty pumped about this one. I've got a cool little surprise sitting right here in the corner of the garage. You guys can't see it yet, so I'll give you a little backstory. So if you're a ZL1 enthusiast, you know that they make the ZL1 in two variants. They make it in the regular ZL1, and then they make the ZL1 1LE. And the difference is, there's a few things different. Visually speaking, the difference is wheels and tires. There's the really high dive canards in the front, and then there's the tall 1LE spoiler in the back that is carbon fiber. So that's the visual difference in the 1LE. And then when you get a little deeper into it, there's a few other things, like the suspension is different. The 1LE, if I remember correctly, has fixed rear seats that don't actually fold down, and I think that's just a weight saving thing. The mechanisms that make the seat fold down are heavy, and so if they do a fixed rear seat, they can keep it lighter and just make it secure. And I'm pretty sure that's a lot of the difference in the 1LE. I may be missing something. If I'm missing something, I mean, feel free to comment it below and let me know, but I'm pretty sure that's it as far as the main differences. Now, as far as what everybody loves about the 1LE that doesn't go and track the car every day, it's all about the spoiler and the dive canards, or dive plane, or whatever they call them. They're canards on the front of the car. The problem is the spoiler is like $5,000 if you buy it new from GM. And if you don't buy it new from GM, the aftermarket spoilers are just not really up to par. I mean, there's a few out there, but the problem is the ones that are really nice, it's like weeks and weeks and weeks to get them. They do them in batches. So I've been wanting a 1LE spoiler for the car, and I got lucky and I scooped one up. And it is an OEM Camaro ZL1 1LE spoiler, pure carbon fiber. Don't mind the fingerprints all over it. Pure carbon fiber, gorgeous, lightweight 1LE spoiler. So pretty. And so in today's video, we're going to be putting the 1LE spoiler on the car. Going to get rid of this bad boy here, Riverside Blue. This is the factory like ZL1 spoiler. It's very similar to the SS spoiler in shape and style, but the ZL1 spoiler is a lot like front to back, from here to here. It's a lot bigger. The SS spoiler goes like to here maybe, and it, you know, it's not as deep. It's really just kind of like a scaled down version of this spoiler. I don't really think it sits as high off of the car as this one does. But anyway, this is about to go bye-bye because we're about to get officially Big Wang Gang status on this ZL1. So a little disclaimer, I actually have no clue how to install a 1LE spoiler on the Camaro. So we're gonna find this out together, but I'm guessing it has a lot to do with removing some of these panels. And it looks like if you look here, see that kind of lines up. So I'm guessing these two holes right here, we got to pull the plugs out and then we can get to the bolts. And then we've probably got to remove this cover to get to the center bolts. And then same thing with these two bolts to get to this side. So we're just going to kind of figure this out as we go. Now, I don't know what ZL1, what year model this came off of, but it must be either a 20 or a prior than 19, because the 19s actually had the backup mirror camera, not the backup camera, but the rear view mirror camera in this center post here. And the before that, they didn't actually have that camera. They just had the backup camera. And then in the 20s, they've actually moved that camera and put it right there in the shark fin antenna. So notice there's no camera here in my center stack. If I had a 2019, you would see a camera right there on that post. So we don't have to worry about that. That's the good news, because we don't have to worry about there being a hole in the center post of this spoiler. So yeah, that should make our install a little bit easier. All right, guys, had to pull the glasses off. Progress is being made. We got the carpet off the ZL1. This is my first like official take the car, I guess my intake, I took the car apart a little bit, but this is my first like take something plastic and interior, like a trim piece, off of the car. You know, in my truck, I kind of ripped that thing apart right out of the gate with wrapping it, took the door handles, mirrors, door panels, everything off of the car. But on this one, I really haven't done that. So this is kind of a big deal. Oh, there's the bolts right there. See up in there, those two nuts? That's it. And so I'm guessing it's these two bolts 2 bolts right here and 2 bolts right here. And then from what I've heard, there's some 3M double-sided adhesive that is like ridiculously strong holding this thing on here. So when we get these bolts off, we're gonna see how hard it is to get it off. There you go. Oh, dropped it down in there. The worst thing that could happen ever. I gotta find that. So you can see there's the nut right there. And there's another one there. I didn't expect it to come off that easy. All right, no big deal, we got it out. There's 3 little tabs here that pull this cover off. And once we get the cover off, we were just reach down in there and grab it. So now we're gonna put these things back on. Push it down, locks into place. Super easy once you learn how to use these things. Everybody hates them, but they're actually kind of clever. All right, back to what we were doing. So this double-sided tape is a worthy adversary, but you can see we've got it separated, and there's actually a little white clip in there that you have to get to from the back side. You can barely see it in that little white hole there. You kind of have to push on it from both sides with screwdrivers. And then there's another one we've got to do. You can see it maybe there. There's like a little grommet over it, bracket. Hard to get to, but we've got to get that one out too to be able to get this side off. And the middle one doesn't have one. It just looks like a little goop of like plastic. I'm guessing that's for, if this was a 19, they probably left the hole in there for the 2020s. That's probably the wiring for the camera plug that would have been in the spoiler. So we're just working the double-sided tape with fishing line, just trying to break it free and saw it back and forth. And we've still got to do the middle and the other side. And then once we have that done, pop these clips off. I'll get somebody to help me hold it while I pop the last clip off. That way it doesn't just fall. And we'll get this spoiler off. Here we go, spoiler is off. You can see it left behind a god-awful amount of double-sided tape. That one actually came off pretty well. On this side. So, the next step is going to be cleaning the deck lid and getting it prepped so that we can put the new spoiler on. So you can see the factory spoiler here, the clip that I was talking about, one on each side. And it's just like an extra third measure, I guess. The double-sided tape and the bolts wasn't enough, so they installed a clip on both sides. So that's what you got to take out to remove the spoiler, and then it just pops right off. So there we go, spoiler's off. And it left some little scratches around the perimeter, kind of where you can see where the edge of the old spoiler was. And the only difference in this spoiler and the new spoiler is this spoiler, the brackets were like this. The 1LE spoiler, the brackets are like this. So you can kind of see on the paint where the old spoiler outline was, but I'm not super concerned about that. It's still gonna look sick. So now we got the super fun task of rebuilding the double-sided tape. It was on the back side, and I've got my roll of 3M double-sided tape, and I'm just gonna basically clean off these surfaces and then rebuild it so that the edge looks good. And the purpose of that is so if we get any little flexing or anything on the body, we don't have to worry about the edges of this, whatever this material is here on the risers, scratching the surface of the paint, because the double-sided tape will provide a little thin barrier for it. What do you think, dude?
I like it.
You like it?
It looks funny without.
It does look funny without a wing, doesn't it? Yeah, it changes the whole look of the car. So much more aggressive. Definitely a cool look. So let's go ahead and get this thing finished, put on, and put my car back together so I can stop freaking out about this expensive car taken apart. guys, we got the car all washed up, clean looking, wing done. So sick. It looks so good. Really completes the back end of this car to me. Like, this car is so extreme that I think the looks department, it needs something extreme, and I think the wing does it. Really happy with how it came out. So appreciate you guys watching the video. Remember, if you haven't already, this right here, check this giveaway out. I'll put a link in the description below. It ends October 31st 2020. We're giving away an intake system for any car or truck that Cold Air Inductions makes a system for. So Silverado, Colorado, Camaro, they make them for some Buicks and Cadillac. They make a bunch of them. Check out their website, click the link below. You can click the little menu bar and see what all they make. And if your car is something that they make an intake for, then you are qualified to enter the competition. So there's instructions on their page. I think you can get up to like 6 entries for, or maybe 8, for sharing, liking their Facebook page, giving them your information on your car, and then I think it's just an email address. It's really simple. I've got another video explaining how to do it, but you guys need to get to it because like 6 days left to go. That's not a lot of time, and you can win a free intake system for your car or truck. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.